What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Essential Tennis Arena. Really excited to have you here today. Before we get too deep into this, can you please let us know in the chat, can you see us, can you hear us okay? Just give us a little indication whether or not we've got everything working correctly or not. So please just drop a little confirmation in the chat that everything's okay.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, you pause that, thanks. All right, looks like we're good. Awesome. So Mike and Mark just started warming up, like literally like 2 minutes ago. Are you on the Wi-Fi here?
Yeah, I just turned it off. No,
Yeah, make sure you pause this.
Yeah, I turned it off.
All right, cool.
Sorry.
I just want to make sure we're not using up the Wi-Fi
Gotcha.
For the stream. Scott, welcome back.
It's great to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you in the booth.
Yeah.
Really excited for this match. You're obviously good friends with Mark, and you know Mike really well too.
Yep.
So I don't know. You probably wouldn't want to pick somebody, would you?
You know,
or play favorites.
No, I really don't. I'm feeling that they both have a common denominator, obviously, with Cole, and they did similarly well, you know, or however you say it. They both had similar results. You know, I think it's going to be interesting. I think I've kind of thought this one over, and I believe Mark is going to try and play like Cole here, and Mike is going to play like Mike. I think that's how the strategies are going to pan out. Mike's a attacking player. Mark is a strong baseliner. He tends not to come to the net near as much. Kind of like the way Cole played against both of them. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a big hitting match.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of offense here. Expecting a lot of highlight, type shots to be hit. Yeah. I'm expecting. I'm gonna make a call. I'm gonna make an early call here, Scott. I'm expecting early second set, maybe like 2-2, 3-1, for there to be some emotional fireworks.
Oh, sure.
And some kind of banter going back and forth. But I'm expecting the first set to be pretty clean here. That's my read on the situation.
I love it. Love that prediction. Just kind of going back to history of all the matches that. It's like hitting the wall in a marathon. There's that mid-second set emotional turmoil.
And also, I think Mark, I think has been beating himself up a little bit about his mental performance when he went to regionals.
Yep.
And I'm expecting here that he's going to try to kind of turn over a new leaf here and play everything cool, play everything kind of by the book.
Sure.
But Mark is still Mark.
I see where you're going with this. I see where you're going.
And I think once the match gets to a certain point in terms of like the critical moment, I'm expecting there to be some boiling over, which I'm not saying this to be judgmental at all. Like this is just the way I'm reading the energy is going to go.
No, you can't really change who you are. And
no, I'm the same way.
Angry old man here.
Yeah, thinking back to our training session, there was a whole lot of jawing going on back and forth.
Yeah.
Good-natured, obviously.
For sure.
But I think tennis level is past a certain level. A tennis player is past a certain level. I think you have to have a little bit of that kind of fire in the belly, like emotionally, or else you just can't withstand like the moment, like the pressure.
Oh, for sure, it's combat. And this is like you take chess and boxing and have a baby and you get tennis.
That's a really ugly baby.
But you can make a lot of money doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about chess. What's the prize in a chess
I don't know.
game?
I think there's pretty high stakes. You get to the world stage in chess. I think it's pretty cutthroat. One of my favorite books is called The Art of Learning, and it was written by a guy who started off chess prodigy. Like he was like a multiple world champion as a child and as like a young adult. And his story is about like the mind games and like the gamesmanship in the world, and like the world class like kid chess scene was like insane. There's kids like stomping on his feet and like all kinds of stuff.
Okay. ticky-tack little things you can do to get in somebody's head.
Anything, yeah.
Oh,
Well, however you can get an advantage, yeah, absolutely. The parents would be in the background, like making faces and like all kinds of stuff. Coaching, signals, and it's basically like tennis.
I saw something the other day. I think it was ESPN, not top 10 plays or something like that. It was spelling bee, and a kid was razzing another kid for missing the word, and then he missed the very next word, and the other kid was just like, "How's it feel?" Good stuff. Yeah, you got to be competitive.
You have to.
I mean, if you're going to come out here and roll over, you're going to get beat. But you've got to push back.
Mentally roll over.
Yeah, mentally roll over.
Yeah.
You're going to get beat. I mean, I think a couple of times I've shown, maybe the look like, I don't care, or I'm slouching or something like that. I'm just regrouping when I'm doing that. Yeah, but
a good opponent is just going to jump all over that.
For sure, yeah. But the ebbs and flows of a match, they really do happen. That it's really rare. I mean, you're not going to see too many matches out here where somebody just rolls from start to finish.
No,
I mean, present company excluded.
No, it's it's kind of ironic. I feel like does our audience, do we stream that? No. Oh, we already posted it, yeah. My mind has to occupy like YouTube timeline and real life timeline.
For sure.
I feel like part of the reason why I rolled the way I did against Topher, ironically, was because I knew that on this court, if there was any kind of handhold that Topher got, it could flip. Like you and I have called quite a few of these matches, and we've seen big momentum shifts back and forth. So I did not take my foot off the gas 1 millimeter.
Good lesson. That's a really good lesson for everybody out there. Is that if you've got a lead, you don't put your hands down. Don't let up. You keep pressing. Turn it up another notch if you can.
Shout out to Brian Mark for the super chat with the popcorn emoji. Very fitting for today's match. He wants to do the official.
Brian, you're from Nebraska, aren't you?
He is. Wow, good memory.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that a while back.
All right, we're going to do like the official like YouTube. Welcome back to Essential Tennis Arena, everybody. Really, really exciting matchup for all of you today. Super competitive match in store for you. We've got Mike Treis on my left here. He's on the baseline. And Mark Sansait at the net over on the other side. Mark, of course, has played several matches on the Essential Tennis channel, has his own YouTube channel, which I highly recommend you check out. And Mike is back for his second singles match. And his first match, he lost to Cole in a really good battle. And Mark has lost to Cole as well in kind of a similar battle, you were saying,
Indeed.
Scott.
Yep.
What are you expecting here as they play each other?
I'm expecting just a similar match to both of the matches that they played against Cole. I think Mark is going to assume the role of Cole here in terms of style of play. He's going to run a lot of balls down, hit deep and heavy, and play probably percentage tennis, a higher percentage tennis. Mike is going to be the attacker. He's going to try and win points quicker. I think he's going to rely on his arsenal. He's got some huge weapons in his game. He's a big boy with a big serve and a big forehand, and he can attack the net really well. So it should be a good matchup. Very, very heavy hitting.
So I think the big difference, I totally agree. I think Mike is going to be the aggressor here. But Mark, I don't think he's nearly as satisfied to, I don't want to say sit back, but Cole has almost kind of a rope-a-dope kind of style where he'll play it calm and slow and easy for a couple points. He won't really juice up his effort unless he really has to. Whereas Mark, I feel like his engine revs a little bit higher. Do you agree?
I would agree with that to a point. I know that when I play Mark, he really likes to, lay back and make me do all the work. He likes to rope-a-dope. That's been our history.
Interesting.
That he goes for bigger shots from time to time, but he plays smart against me. He makes me do the work, and I could see him, taking that same tack here with Michael. I think that he probably feels he's maybe in a little better shape, and can play that way. He can outlast, a lot of guys here just because he's young and fit.
So in effect, are you saying that you expect Mark to allow Mike to dictate?
I think that he's going to assume that role in the match. You know, I wouldn't use the word allow. I think he's going to say go. Well, I guess that he will allow, but he's going to say.
You think he's going to give him space in order to take charge?
He's going to give him enough rope to hang himself. Is what he's going to do.
Okay.
You know that he's going to say, you make the dynamic moves and I'll have a response for it. You know, kind of like Cole did for everything against Mark and Mike. You know that do what you can and I'll do what I want.
That's such that's such a tough opponent to play against. Somebody who's savvy enough to give you the rope.
Yes, yeah,
And a really frustrating day to be on the other end of that. B, like how much of a solid understanding of the game and of your own strengths and weaknesses, and like I think it shows a lot of maturity as a tennis player to play that role of like here's some rope, here's some rope, here's some rope, and let the other person hang themselves.
For sure. Yeah, you have a general understanding of the dynamics of a match. That it's not a sprint. It's a long race, and you know you can dictate the ebbs and flows a little bit that way too. You can give somebody false hope even just by allowing them to do that. And
it's so dirty, but I 100%. I completely understand where you're talking about, and it's such a crushing thing to be on the other end of that.
For sure. Oh yeah, when you feel like you've played 2 or 3 great games, but you've worked so hard, and the other guy's just, you know, butting the ball back, and then you realize 3 games later you're dead. You know, Adam's good at doing that.
So we had a question in the chat. And those of you watching live, I'm keeping an eye on the chat over here. It's going to be moving much faster than, you know, I'm not going to be able to look at everything or see everything. But somebody asked about their college background. They both played for University of Wisconsin at Whitewater, which is a Division III school. And Mike played for Western Michigan as well, right?
I think
which is a Division I school. I think he started at Western Michigan
and then transferred
to Whitewater.
Yep.
So when you get to NCAA, did you play in college, Scott?
I did.
Where did you play?
I played a year and a half in Nebraska and transferred to Nebraska Wesleyan University, D1 to D3. You know, not unlike Michael.
Okay.
And I would say that the intensity and the level of play definitely took a step down going from D1 to D3. But you know, that said, I came across some pretty nasty guys.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, opening thoughts and kind of like starting strategy.
Can you guys both shift just a tad bit to your left? Yep.
Yeah, that's too much.
Okay.
That's good.
Is that good?
What did I just do?
You're going to want to get the mic a little closer to your face also.
Sure. What did I just knocked something down though. Okay, got it.
Not sure what it was.
Yeah, Scott, I brought up I was going to go exactly where you just went with the college experience. The level of intensity and willingness to bite ankles and like just overall like gamesmanship is so high when you get to the college level. So these two are no strangers to adversity. They're no strangers to mental, you know, obstacles, and that's part of why I'm so excited to watch both of them.
More forward. Yeah, they're both fighters. That's for sure. You know, they enjoy the battle. You know.
Yeah, I feel like that's a hallmark of a successful high-level tennis player is that you have to not only be okay with the mental adversity, but you have to kind of like thrive on it and relish it a little bit.
For sure. Yeah.
If you don't kind of feed on that high-tension scenario, I mean, it's really hard to be successful.
You got to have a thick skin, and you can't be easily offended. You know that I mean.
For sure.
Tennis
is not for you. If you're easily offended, tennis is not the sport for you.
No, you will be offended many times.
You might be offended today watching this stream.
Believe me, I'll do my best not to, but I'm offensive.
All right, well, brace yourselves, everybody. The match is about to start. We just gave a heads up on being offended.
Yep.
We're ready to go. And by the way, today to my left here we have Tyler. Let's give everybody a wave, Tyler. Tyler's going to be the one that's actually going to be keeping up with the score. So everybody in the chat, do me a favor and give Tyler a thank you, because that was like the most clear communication we received from the last stream. Was everybody's like, "What's the score? What's the score?" So Tyler's going to be managing the score. So I'm gonna. Anytime I look this way, it's because I forgot what the score is.
I don't think
Tyler, you're a legend.
I'm not on the
No,
Wi-Fi
no.
here, so
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
not gonna-
turn
we're not
back
gonna
on.
do it.
Here we go. Tyler cam needed, yeah.
Tyler Cam.
Love it.
The Tyler Cam would be Tyler's head shaking back and forth every time we try to make bad jokes. That would be the Tyler Cam, little
All
GoPro
right,
head
okay,
shake.
so off limits today. Let's see. Well, Mark's dietary habits? No, that's all.
No,
that's
that's
all.
definitely-
That's
that's
standard
on the
fare.
table always.
Standard fare.
Their moms,
Yeah, for sure.
Moms are off the table?
Moms are off the table.
girlfriends. Do we have girlfriends?
Yes. I think.
Yeah, yes, Mark.
I can only speak for what I've known in the past, but yes, I think Mark keeps it on the DL, but
Yeah.
he's
He doesn't like to show off,
no.
or maybe he just doesn't feel comfortable letting you meet them.
Oh, I've met her before.
Oh, okay.
So it's been a while though. Yeah. But I mean, I would be real loath to introduce me to somebody's girlfriend. I'm it's
There's
like
a reason why you haven't met my wife yet.
Yeah. You hang out with this guy.
All right, here we go, everybody. This is the moment everybody's been waiting
All
for.
right. Looks like Mike's serving.
All right. We've just seen some rallies. Do we want to do first set call before
We're
we've
good.
even seen a point?
One break.
For what are you going to call? Which?
I'm going with Mike. Okay, I mean that if you want to pick a horse and stick with it, I'll take Mike.
I'm taking Mike first set,
Okay.
and I'm going to reserve judgment for
Okay.
second set until after the first set's done.
Yep. We shall see. Here we go, guys.
Mike's D1 instincts there, taking over, running for the
Yep.
net serve
Indeed.
immediately. Gotta love to see that. Mike trying to dial in the heater right away.
Yeah, right away. Flex a little bit, show him what he can do.
Good ball.
No, Mark's coming out hitting hard. He's flexing right back.
See, I don't know, Scott. I don't know that Mark is gonna let out as much rope maybe as you think he will. I think he's gonna. I feel like he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for this match. He's got something to prove here. I wouldn't personally. I'm expecting him to try to kind of go toe to toe with Mike.
Okay.
I know we've only seen 1 point, but
Sure. Well, I
That's-
mean, so far you're batting 1,000.
all right, come on.
If the season ended now, you'd be the batting champ.
If only we could end seasons when we wanted them to end.
Indeed.
That's a tough serve.
That's a real nice second serve. Kicker to Mark's one-hander.
Karen in the chat saying, that shirt loud AF. I gotta compliment Mike on the wardrobe.
It's a good one.
He's making a statement.
Yep. That is loud as fudge.
Interesting.
Slice.
Wow, really?
That's really nice and deep. Ooh. Well, Mike definitely trying to dictate that point, but maybe pulling the trigger on a too tough a shot.
I'll tell you what, having been in this position, several times, and you have too, but we gotta get you back out there, Scott. The first 2-3 games for me, it's so hard for me to get my heart rate down
Yeah.
when these matches first start. And I feel like there's just a little bit of that showing up there and that misfire from Mike.
For sure.
Wow.
Great second. Oh, now that's a new bounce. I've not seen that one before.
Before the match started, I asked Michael what ratio of finishing points at the baseline versus finishing points at the net he ideally wanted to see. And his plan was hopefully to be at the net at the end of about 30% of
Really?
his points. So he's thinking he really wants to push forwards in this match.
Nice serve. Okay. All right. Mark actually betraying a little bit of nerves there in
That was
terms
a
of his
big
self-talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
big cut.
Really? You think so, you
Well,
think self-talk is?
I think that, you know, he's been pretty quiet and pretty focused, but you know, that self-coaching is just a reminder to yourself that hey, you may have nerves. And Mike taking a little bit off that first serve,
Yeah.
catching Mark by surprise.
He's in that kick on the ad side out wide really nicely
Yep.
early in this
Yep.
first game here.
That
So
w-
here we are at deuce.
Yep, that was a very opportune off-speed serve there. He's been going boom, boom,
Yeah.
and Mark was waiting for it. Good return. All right, there's that
we
strategy
go.
you were talking about.
Those are the kind of points I'm expecting to see. Once they both settle in, I'm expecting to see that basic
Yep.
formula repeat itself
Yep.
a lot.
Yep, that's big boy tennis right there. You know, and credit to Mark for, you know, every shot he hit there. That was a tough dig, you know, right before Mike put it away. That's a good hold there, coming back from 540. Big hold. I think Mike did a good job of. Are we listening to them?
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm really curious what Mark's mental
gotcha.
state.
Gotcha.
No, if you got
No,
something,
no,
go ahead. I was
I-
listening to Mark. Yeah, because he had 2 break points there, right?
Yes.
So I'm just curious what his mindset is, and I'm not at all surprised to see him like very even keel so
Yeah.
far, like keeping his cool, you know, mentally so far. That's what I expect for most of this first
Yeah,
set out of Mark.
I think that's that's fair. That's fair. Mark is, he's not really making any food references or anything like that yet, and I think that we should expect that through the first set. He's going to be serious as
Fudge.
cancer, hand grenades. I don't know.
If you're not already offended. Just kidding.
How
Yeah,
about-
I think Mark is taking this match really
Yeah.
seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I think he respects Mike's game quite a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that combined with how disappointed he was in himself from the showing from regionals is why I'm kind of calling him to be totally level for at least the first set is my call. I think he's going to try to rein himself in emotionally as much as possible here and just play it totally straight-laced.
Yeah. Oh, got a text from Ira here.
Oh yeah,
What's happening, Ira?
No comment.
I'm gonna text him back here.
Oh, there's the fast food.
Oh, fast food.
Fast food talk.
Taco Bell.
I better turn my phone off too. MEP in the chat, everybody. Ben T
What's happening?
dropping knowledge bombs in the chat. Ooh. So yeah, a little bit of an announcement with MEP. I'll save that for a game or two. But Ben and I have been texting quite a bit the last couple of days, and I'll make, I guess, kind of an official announcement here in, I don't know, 10 15 minutes.
Nice.
Leave everybody hanging a little bit. Oh, Mark
Nice.
with a wide kick.
Yep. Look at the slice.
Wow.
Oh, that's out. That's out.
That's a good try.
Yep.
and congratulations, everybody. We crossed our first ever 1,000-person live stream, I'm guessing about 5 minutes ago or so.
That's huge.
Really, really, thank you so much for your support of these videos. Thank you for being here today. We all appreciate your support so much. Thank you. Did Mike just hit a one-hander
Yep.
topspin approach shot there?
Yes, he did. Incidentally, Ira wants a piece of Mike. He just
next
texted
matchup?
me. Yeah, he wants a piece.
Awesome. I love it.
Ooh, double break point here again. Can Mike break, or can Mark do what Mike did to him? Interesting. Ira versus Mike would be the two biggest guys in the.
The racket does that? Big moment here for Mark.
Yep. Yeah. Oof,
That's generous.
Yeah. Good one-hander, but look at that neutralizing shot. Big slice. And
Wow,
that's the
that ball
break.
is tough.
That was nice. And that's the downside of trying to pass somebody with the slice. That ball just hangs there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
It's doable, but it better be on a dime and on a rope.
Yep.
And if it's not on both those things at the same time, then a good volleyer
Indeed.
like Mike is going to pick that off.
Yep. That
But
was
we also, I don't think, can downplay the quality of that volley. It's not as easy as you just made it look to hit
no.
that firm of a volley off of that heavy of a slice. Really nice ball.
No, he made it look like it was just a fluffy little ball. That was a tough shot. Okay. Now, I really think that this is about as crucial a game as any for Mark. I think that he needs to get a break back, because if he doesn't, I think that's set.
Or at least make a statement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. To be honest, I wouldn't go that far. Like I think he's still got time in this set, even if Mike holds, albeit maybe not a lot of time.
Yeah.
But if Mark can at least make this competitive and give Mike something to think about, I think he's still okay.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Especially considering the stage and like the environment.
Yeah.
A little bit of wobbliness goes a long way, I feel like,
For sure.
in these matches.
Both these guys have got enough camera experience that they know
That's a good point.
they're not fazed by it. I mean, Mike's already talking to you up here.
It's a good point.
Mark with a Discord reference.
How does Mark just seemingly like completely off the cuff come up with these like? Is this just a talent he has? You know Mark pretty well, right?
He's glib. I will say he's glib. But I mean, I have accused him of coming up with lines before.
Like ahead of time?
Yeah.
Like
What-
keeping him up his sleeve?
Yeah. When we played. That's a big serve. That's a radar gun check right there. All right.
Yeah, I was past 110.
Yeah. Easy hold by Mike there. I think the first round or first game jitters he had may have dissipated. He's definitely feeling it right now. Mark is going to have to figure out a way to push back. I think this is about as heavy an onslaught as he's seen on this court.
And it's about as strong a tennis as I feel like we've seen from Mike on this court.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be firing on all cylinders, as you're saying, for him. The serve, the return, the rally game, the approach. Like he hasn't really shown Mark an obvious opening yet, at least from my perspective. So if you're Mark in this situation, what do you look for? Like what do you try at this point?
Well, that I kind of feel, and I'm going back to this guy, I just don't know that going toe to toe, having a slugfest with him benefits him right now, because so far Mike has not been phased in the least. He's not been hurt by any of Mark's big shots. For one, Mark is hitting those shots 6-8 feet behind the baseline, so it takes it doesn't really have the same effect as, say, stepping inside the court. And two, I think that it's what Mike's used to. He likes the big ball. He likes the big hard ball, and what Mark should do, or at least try, is seeing if he can, make him hit out of his strike zone. Maybe put some heavier loop on the balls, hit it up high, or find a way to get it closer to his feet. That the points that he's won have been, I think, primarily below Mike's knees. That he's hit low balls that Mike's had to try and half volley. But we'll see.
So if you were coaching Mark at this point, you would ask him to slice more,
Yeah.
pull back on the offensiveness, rally with him a little bit more?
I would say, look to rally more. Don't try to out hit him or hit through him, but see if you can use your strengths. Use that slice backhand that is really an effective play against everybody, and see if he can elicit a short ball to maybe he could attack, or if Mike is pressing, try to keep that ball low and look for a sneak attack here and there. But I think that just standing back behind the baseline and punching the ball is just not a good recipe for him. I mean, look at that.
I think in Mark's shoes, I totally hear what you're saying, Scott. In Mark's shoes, I think it's so tough to do, like in practice, to be like, okay, I'm just going to be a little more calm. I'm not going to try, like I'm going to actually tone down when you're like in the corner getting punched in the stomach.
Yep.
I think it's kind of natural for us to want to try to punch back,
Yes.
It's so tough in Mark's scenario to actually take his foot off the gas offensively a little bit.
Yep. Well, I've always felt, with Mark's game, as athletic as he is, as big as he hits the ball, what would really get him over the top, make him like a indisputable high-level 5-0 player, is that he's got to be able to have that aspect of his game where he can just +1, his shots, like just go serve +1 at will, or he can just in the middle of a point, out of nowhere, come up to the net. And it's just something that he doesn't do. He can do it, but he doesn't do it comfortably.
Why do you think that's due to lack of weapons, lack of racket hit speed? Like, what,
No,
why don't you think he has the
I-
surplus one-two punch?
I think that he just chooses not to.
Really?
I think that
You think he likes to grind a little
he does,
too much?
He likes to grind. I mean, Mark's something of a grinder. In spite of the fact that he hits the ball really big. But I watched. I've looked back on his matches out here just wide, and
Mike is on top of that, though.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he is. And I felt that there are opportunities for him to end points that he just doesn't take. And I'm speaking from my perspective. I want to end points quick. I look for every possible option to end a point. That's a good approach. Nice. That's a sick volley, son.
Jeez.
Tell him what your name is. Wow.
Mark looking up at the commentary booth after that point, because I think it's just, this is what's tough, because when you feel like you basically played the point to the best of your ability,
Yep.
and then an opponent just comes up with
No.
that type of winner, it's tough. It puts you in a position where you feel like you have to go for the big ball.
Yeah. Yep. That's a nice return. Yeah, see that?
Ooh,
That's a shot I like.
You called it, Scott. You called it below the knees. I don't know that Mark necessarily was trying to skim the net by that low of a margin, but it ended up being perfect.
It works. It's a tough shot to hit, I guess. So far, though, and Mark's handing Mike the rope, and Mike's getting his merit badge and not tying. Good serve.
That's kind of what you're talking about there.
Yep. There we go. Now this. See? No.
Can't let that bounce.
Yeah.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
A little straight ahead rally. Yep. Big boy tennis. I love it. I love it. Oof. Just
I
out.
gave it to him, I think.
Yep.
Was that good?
Yeah,
Wide? Okay,
just
thank you.
out.
Sorry.
Yep, just wide. But now, if Mark would have taken that ball out of the air, he wouldn't have had to hit 8 more shots and,
That hurts
and
the
got a little
soul
gas.
of
Yeah.
both Scott and
Yeah,
I.
yeah.
Anytime we see a ball that high hit the ground,
I mean,
at least take it as an overhead off the
oh,
bounce.
for sure. Yeah. I think he was hoping that ball was going wide. All right,
That's
well,
big. That's a big hold for Mark. Nice job. Just
Mark.
hanging in there.
Yep.
Mike has given him a lot to think about
Mm-hmm.
and not letting his foot off the gas at all. So for Mark to claw his way back into the set and get himself on the scoreboard is just a big first step.
Yep, that was a big hold there, considering that there were break points involved yet again.
Thanks for being here, everybody. We're just below 1,200 on the stream. Awesome. It makes me super excited. I'm just so happy that all of you are enjoying this type of content. Thank you all so much for the feedback, for your support. It really means the world to all of us. It's fine. Good swing. Mistimed it a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's easy to mistime that swing when you're backing up. Got to go for a big target there. All right.
Spirit Donkey, you definitely have not been banned. Otherwise, I wouldn't be seeing your message right now. Surprised to not see Mike pick up that out of the air.
Yeah, good shot.
I mean, Mike hasn't missed a volley yet.
No.
Or an overhead.
Yeah, for a guy who self-deprecates his ability to volley, he's pretty strong.
I couldn't believe it when after the first match, that was like his main comment was like, well, the guys in the commentary booth are saying I got good volleys. I guess I have good volleys? I don't know. Like, he seemed kind of confused by that.
Right. Good serve. Well, Mike's been having easy service games. That's a tough hill to climb for Mark, especially when he's fighting for every point on his serve.
Just dropping bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And that just even more so puts Mark behind the 8-ball.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I got to do to get back in this set?
Yep.
When you're facing 110, 115 mile an hour serves.
Big
And
kicker.
that
That's
second
a
serve.
big
That's
kicker.
a
Jeez.
nasty second serve.
Right off the line, above his head. And see, I mean, that's one thing I know Mark can make that shot, but when you're hitting that return 8 feet behind the baseline, you got to make a change.
And trying to hit topspin.
Yeah, trying to hit topspin. That's backhand overhead.
Zadel Renee, thank you so much. Ron Gross. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, so we had Ben in the chat. I promised you guys kind of exclusive drop here. We've scheduled the match with MEP, and not only is Ben going to be here in Milwaukee relatively soon, but he's going to be playing 3 other players from the Essential Tennis universe. So he's playing myself and 3 others. So he's playing 4. He's going to be playing 4 players during his trip here to Milwaukee.
Maniac.
I swear to you, like texting with Ben, I gave him a dozen outs. Are you sure you want to like play 4? Like, he wants to warm up on the court. Which I respect that 100%. Get used to the court. kind of get his feet under him. He never plays inside, so I totally get that. But 4 matches in a row is a lot of tennis. But he seems very confident that he's up to the task.
He's grown his legend. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Good on you. Yeah.
Come
Good
on
on
down.
you. Yeah. I mean, I got
Love
nothing
it.
but respect for that play.
Totally agree.
I want
Totally
to play
agree.
4 matches in 3 days.
I can't wait. I'm going to be sitting courtside, just loving it.
So Ben is a green shirt guy, aka MEP, most exhausting player. He gets featured on Tennis Troll Channel a lot. Sorry for the noise behind us, by the way. They'll be done in 5 or 10 minutes.
Just scrolling through the chat, I see my buddy John Sadowski, SLU. How's it going, John? Good to see you here. Huh? What's happening? I know who you are. John's a guy I'd like to get on this channel.
Yeah?
Get him playing. He's
local player?
Local player. He's at SLU right now, St. Louis University. But big game, rangy, just huge serve. Oh man, fun to watch. So think about it, John. Think about it next summer.
And Mark's trying to bang with him.
Yes, he is.
It's unusual to see somebody take Mark's, banger shot and just kind of absorb it and send it back. Cole did that obviously. Mike is the only other person who we've seen really be like, okay, let's rally, and it's not overly stressing him.
Nice one, Luke Wright. Luke Wright just put in the chat, most exhausting player becomes most exhausted player.
Well played.
All right, love 30 here. Love 30. All right, John Sadowski, you got a slot, okay? If you're back here, we're going to figure out a good one for you to play. Love 40.
Mark well and truly behind the 8 ball now, and Mike still has really not shown.
He's
Baseline and net, everything with serve, return, baseline net, he's not shown any letting up anywhere on the court, which is really impressive.
well, Mike's got some titles to his name. He's a big player. That he might think he's old, but he's experienced is what he is. He's played college tennis. He's played tournament tennis. He's a guy who, as a junior, was a strong high school player. I mean, every level of his tennis progress has been successful. So he knows how to win. He's not a journeyman. The guy's a winner. Now, Mark's starting to lose the plot here, I think he may just try to regroup, just surrender the set and try to regroup. I think,
And I don't think either of us would blame him for if that was his play at this point.
No.
Down 2 breaks and with Mike playing as well as he is.
Right, serving as well as he is especially.
Yeah. Good shot.
That's nice, but look at that. I mean, Mike just neutralizes that big return. Oh, that's a big ball.
That's a good ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm Mark, I'm gonna do exactly what he's doing right now. Just let it fly.
Yeah.
You might as well just swing. Just go, not necessarily swing for the fences, but
See what you can do.
try to hit your very best shot right now, and just see if you can get something rolling.
Yeah, fair play.
I feel like there's a big difference between that and tanking the set and just phoning it in.
Yep. Undefeated while playing in construction zones. Huh?
I saw that. That's my favorite chat comment so far.
Yeah. Nice.
There's the slice.
The thing is, Ben, that there's always a first time.
I didn't even realize that was bad. Well played, Ben.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Just make sure you bring one of those hard hats, okay?
Yeah, sorry everybody. The noise will be over in a little bit.
Yep. That's nice return, Mark. But look at that. That's just back. Good play. 30 all.
Undefeated in construction.
Now, one of the things that I have learned about MEP, GSG, Ben, whatever, the man of 1,000 names, is that he has the comedic timing of a Lenny Bruce, of a Robin Williams. The guy is a comic master. Okay, so I can't wait for this guy to show up. I'm gonna throw him all my straight lines and see what he does with them. All right, big point right here. 30 all.
I like this slice.
Yep. Look at that. And then he does that. And then he does that. So
I don't. To be totally honest, I don't mind him. I don't mind him taking that cut. I don't mind him going for it. I know you'd like to see him maybe keep going with the slice instead of take a shot.
I would like to see him take that cut, but I'd like to see him take that cut with 1 foot in the blue. Okay, not 2 feet in the green. I'd like to see him step into that shot, because that slice that Mike hit back was right in the corner. There was a serve and volley. I don't think that's good enough. Yeah. That was a dominating first set by the man with the loud AF shirt.
That's the first time a point's ever been dedicated to me on the ET court. I'm honored that it was an overhead.
There have been several dedications the last few live streams.
There have been dedications, yeah.
That you dedicated an inside-out forehand to me, which I got goosebumps. Ira, you got dedicated kneeling overhead to Ira.
Now, somebody, I'm seeing a couple comments in the chat about how this first set. I just saw the word landslide, one-sided. Realistically, Scott, what percentage of execution or performance would you say separates these guys right now? In other words, if there was going to be a different, if Mike was to come down 5% and Mark was to come up 10%, 15% swing, how much of a swing do you think does it take for Mark to get in this?
I think Mike has to come down more than 5%. He's playing at just a really high level right now. I think that he's going to have to drop 15%, and Mark's going to have to come up 10. It's going to have to be like a 25% net swing. That first set was almost a bagel. Mark's hold included a break point there, so it could have been just a whitewash.
That's fair. Yeah. I think that's. I'm tempted to say that it's closer than 25. I think that's a good over/under number.
Yeah.
I would take the under on it. I'm gonna go 15-20. There's no question it's a significant gap.
Yeah.
But it's not. Mark can overcome it. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. It's doable, in my opinion.
I would agree with you there. I think it could be overcome. I think that it was a pretty quick set, and that bodes well for Mike, because he expended some energy, but he didn't really have to work that hard. Even in the long rallies, it seemed like he was just dictating traffic there. He was directing it, and Mark was doing all the running. If Mark can find a way to, remedy that, can change that a little bit, I think that, there could be a swing here.
There always could be a swing.
There always could be a swing.
The question is how much, how much of a swing in this particular instance.
Yeah, I just think that Mike right now is so clearly in the driver's seat that, he could crack a beer right now and probably, only lose 10%.
If he was Ira, he would gain 10%.
Ira, man. Ira's
That's for you, buddy. Ira's probably watching right now.
Ira?
Shout out to Ira.
Yep, my man. Ira's legendary. Okay, Ira's a GOAT. Okay, and he's the OG. All right, we're starting the second set here.
Quite a few people in the chat asking for Scott versus Ira, by the way.
No, I'm down for it. Incidentally, I had a convo with Tennis Troll last week, just talking about doubles lineups, and he thinks that Ira and I should play you and Mark.
Really?
Yeah.
I've given it some thought, the doubles matchup between the four of us, and I've concluded that no matter what the pairings are, I'm so excited to be there.
Yep.
Honestly, I think the four of us, any combination, is a really interesting, matchup.
I agree.
And so I'm down for any pairing at all.
All right, Mark, starting off well so far.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Chat room. The four of us, Ira, Mark, Scott, myself, we're going to play doubles. It'd just be way too much fun to not do it.
No, it will be. There'll be 20-minute highlight reel. That's all I can say. All right. So.
That is like the first. I mean, there may have been one in the first set, but that's the first loose-looking error from Mike.
Mark's slice is
and 40 love.
Yep, 40 love. Good serve.
Mike just looks so comfortable receiving that pace. I'm starting to really understand your initial call of don't try to hit it through him, but more play the rally game.
He's not budging.
No.
He's not budging. I mean, he looks like he's just batting it away. See, Mark,
He doesn't need that.
yeah, get him moving. Get him moving first, then pull the trigger. If you want to win a point, you can't rely on him giving you points. That's for sure. Kirby and Ira versus MEP and Ira. That's an interesting doubles match.
Wow. Somewhere in there, we're going to need a cloning machine, which is scary. Two Iras. I don't know the universe is ready for that. Ira would be.
Ira, yeah. Just think of all the stuff he could get done with a clone. Wide, just wide.
That was almost a beautiful shot. Ollie friend 99, appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
Wait a minute, no one could hit a topspin shot? Mo? I got a topspin forehand.
Yeah. There's a certain percentage of the internet, I think, that thinks topspin means if you're not hitting 4,000 RPM, then
gotcha.
it just doesn't count.
Well, I've got a WTA forehand, so whatever. No, good serve, good body serve.
Good ball. It's about the first uncomfortable looking return of serve that I've seen Mike attempt.
Green shirt guy and MVP clone versus Scott and Ira. Or Ian, Scott and Ian, nice. If Ben has a twin brother,
Get him playing tennis.
get him playing tennis and play some doubles.
That would be awful. I don't think the tennis world could possibly handle that.
Oh, I think they'd have to. Good ball. Nice. And look at the volley. Look at the volley. That's just so crisp.
Curtis, appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support.
Mike's volleys are like romaine lettuce. Crisp.
For real though, like there's a certain quality to a net game where it's hard to explain. It's the cleanness of the technique, it's the cleanness of the contact, where the half a second before the volley is hit, you automatically, you just know it's going to be a good shot. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
There's
exactly.
a certain level of net player where it's just like automatic.
Oh yeah.
And Mike has that quality in my estimation.
That it's the strength of his grip and his technique is just so. Oh man. Got a request for 4 MEP clones playing doubles. That would I mean, come on, that's like dark matter. It's not gonna happen.
Voldon? Maybe. I'm sorry. I'm probably not even close to pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Karen with the $3 ET Cloning Machine Fund super chat. Do not donate to the cloning machine. The world is not ready for the cloning machine. Thank you all so much for the support. Really, really appreciate it.
Get it. He's got it, though. That's a big point.
That is
big
a big
point, yeah.
That's like a possible momentum shifting point.
Yep.
Mike hit about the best volley he could have hit with
Yep.
that shot, and
Yep.
Mark was there for it.
That you can't really give Mark a short ball because he'll get to it. I've learned that. That you got to stick that ball. You got to put it away. If you give him a chance at a volley, he'll figure out a way to get there.
This is about as hard as I've seen Mark get worked physically, by the way. I mean, I'm thinking back to Cole, which obviously was just a mountain climb of a match, but I feel like Mike is giving him just as much of a physical challenge,
Yeah.
which is a big compliment to Mike.
Indeed. Well, what's amazing is that you look at Mike, he doesn't look like he's winded at all. He looks like a guy who's just given a lesson. I mean, no offense, Mark, but
Which, frankly, I would have given the fitness edge to Mark.
Right, yeah.
No offense to Mike. But Mark, I think, is working a lot harder to hit the same
Yep.
level of shot.
agree.
So what would you attribute that? Is it because Mike is absorbing and sending back
Yep. Yeah.
pace so efficiently?
Yeah, Mike is standing there, and he's like a pivot man. He's just moving Mark corner to corner, and Mark is really hitting more linearly. And Mike is anticipating where the shot's going and not getting taken off balance.
John M., I see your comment about playing the Play Your Court guys. We actually, did you know we played them already? They're on the channel. I played singles against Scott, and then Kevin Garlington and me, or is it yeah. Kevin Garlington and I played doubles against Scott and Nate. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. So we've played them already. That was in Indian Wells. But I've actually had conversations with Scott recently, and we're planning eventually on having them here on the court. So it's going to happen again in the future. And by the way, open invitation. If you're watching right now and you want to play on this court, just send me an email, ian@essentialtennis.com. I'll put it in the chat really quick. Open invitation. Coaches, YouTubers, tennis players, trolls, especially trolls.
Yeah.
If you're a troll, then please come play on this court. I would love to host you here. Oh, man, Tyler. Everybody, give Tyler an attaboy in the chat. He's the one keeping
Look
up with
at
the
that.
score. If
Look
it
at
wasn't
that.
for Tyler, Scott and I sure as heck don't know what the score is.
She's like,
So none of you would know what the score is either. It's got the titles coming up on screen and everything.
John Sadowski, you and Andrew, Colin, and Christopher, I would love to see that match. That would be incredible. Yes,
They're calling
absolutely
for
yes.
a raise
Absolutely
for you, Tyler,
yes.
in the chat.
Okay, you get those guys on board, and absolutely, I can't wait. That would be big.
We got a request for a Tyler cameo too. Tyler, get back in here. Let everybody. There you go. Tyler's the wizard behind the curtain. You can't forget about James either. James is in the corner. Occasionally you'll see him walking back and forth on the court. He's the other one making the stream happen right now. Yeah.
Close.
Jim S in the chat wants to know if there's going to be any streaking today.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We have anybody down there?
It would have to be James.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if we're all ready for that.
James doesn't strike me as a streaker.
No, he's much too modest
Yeah.
to streak.
I've always been easily persuaded to do it, but I've got official duties right now.
397 from Fuzzy Balls Open. Please play to Mark's post-game Taco Bell run.
397 sounds like
That's
a
like
sale price.
Yeah, that's like it's on the value menu, like some combination.
Day old taco.
The Baker's Dozen Day Old Taco for 397.
We made too many. Our loss is your gain.
Every taco made at Taco Bell is too many, Scott.
Yes, our loss is your loss.
1,200 in the chat, by the way.
Oh, look at that.
Thank
That's
you all
big.
so much. Thank you
Big.
for your support. Really appreciate it.
Now, I'm not sponsored by LS. I do like LS, though. I do find that their gear is just classic. I mean, I love the old Guillermo Vilas kit. I love,
Yeah, I didn't
you
even
know,
notice. I really like the
yeah.
old
Yeah.
the old school, the orange and
Yeah.
the red.
the logo is just like fire. If you ask me, it's great. Got a couple of sweatshirts. Got this zip up. Got a T-shirt. I'm a big fan of classic tennis clothes. Ooh, the preemptive. Come on.
That was inside the line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mark, maybe a little gamesmanship
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just tossing that grenade over there and see what happens.
Smoke. Wow, that looked tired. Nice. Got it. He
Wow,
got
that's
it.
generous.
Wow.
It's a generous call.
Mm.
It's close.
Yeah. Shot spot.
That's like the toughest ball to call with that much topspin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dummy. You got to look down at the ground.
Oh, look at that. He's
Get
got it, though.
there.
He's got it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Scott. Scott. Could be.
Yeah.
I kind of pride myself on calling, shifts. It's the first volley Mike has missed, the first outburst really that Mike has had the whole match. He's had a couple,
Yeah.
self-coaching here and there, but
Yeah.
frankly, I don't think he has any reason to be that upset with that shot.
No. Nope. Good serve.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yep. My concern is this, is that Mark has to break Mike, and he has not really shown anything like that since the first game of the match. Get a room, guys. Just get a room. Come on.
Just hug it out.
Just, God, play tennis. Jesus. Good depth. And
That's a tough ball.
It's a good approach.
That's a nice lob.
Mike's got a good overhead.
Now, you may remember it, Scott. About an hour ago, I called that somewhere around 2-2, 1-3 in the second set. To Mark's credit, he's stayed very, very resilient mentally. I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Yep. There's a little life there. He's showing
Yeah.
a sign of life there. He's doubled his output from the previous set.
Physically, again, it really strikes me how much harder Mark is having to work for these games. Mike still looks pretty fresh.
Yeah, he does. I like his emotional outlook of the match too. I think that he'll berate himself for a missed chance, but he tends to be a lot more vocal on big shots that he's won. That he's he's playing college tennis and come on, almost like he's got 5 other guys playing singles on his side.
And what's funny, Scott, like a good observation there. I've seen a couple people in the chat get triggered by the come on in.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
those of you in the chat who are getting triggered by the fist pump, you need to understand this. That's exactly the response that Mike wants from you.
Yep.
He wants you to be triggered.
Yeah, he wants Mark to be triggered.
Right. Good point. Right. He's hoping for Mark to be triggered, but it just comes with the territory. If you're gonna play competitive, high-level tennis, those mental, shots are gonna get fired back and forth. And if you're the one in the chat typing like, oh my gosh, like, oh, shut up, like Mike, that's exactly what like he's hoping is going to happen, and you're playing right into it.
Yeah, it's fun. You know,
Does the camera really put on 20 pounds? Is that true?
Are you talking trash?
No. I'm just wondering if it's 20 pounds of fat or muscle.
It helps me out.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
kind of fill out?
No, I don't know that's fat versus. I think it's general volume.
The camera goes straight.
Like if you have more fat content, then it leans in that direction. I think if you have more muscle content.
Yeah. Go straight to your butt, Mark.
So those bodybuilders I see on TV, they're just as skinny as me, you're saying?
No.
We didn't say 50 pounds. We said 15. Yeah, no problem.
glad we can clear that up. Water weight, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Those of you in the
Who
chat, yeah.
knows?
Mark was asking if the camera does in fact put on 15 pounds. I don't know the context that led up to that question, but there you have it. Big moment here for Mark.
Big game. Big game.
Oof. That is a nasty forehand.
Yeah, but to what avail? Seems like it took more out of him than it did anything offensively.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike is just so calm,
He's a
sending
wall.
those back. Yeah.
He's a wall. He just absorbs them and sends them back, you know, at the speed he wants to send them.
And based on Mark's self-talk, I get the sense that he's happy with that exchange. Like that's basically what he's looking for. It sounds to me.
If that's the case, I just don't think it's going to turn out well. Look at that, and
He's going with the grunt changeup.
yeah.
If he wins this point. I hope Mark wins this point. I
Oh,
so hope he wins it.
He's earned it, that's for sure. Wow.
That grunt's not going anywhere.
No,
He's
no,
using that every point
that's
now.
going to be his command. Yeah.
How would you?
Where-
Oh,
no.
I've seen this. The bois, BWEH.
Well, yeah.
There's,
yeah.
it's like the meme of grunts apparently.
That's
What does it come from?
Syria, I think he was.
Syria? Is he
So- I don't know.
popularized that?
Well, no, I think that he and Mark were boying each other. I think that was for Syria.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
Yeah. Rublev, that's right. It's Rublev.
Oh, is
that's
it?
right.
It's Rublev?
Yeah, that's
All
right.
Thank you, chat.
That's incredible. Full Rublev. He's channeling Andre Rublev.
Dude, you gotta do what you gotta do out there.
The most
You gotta
bearded player.
change up the grunt, change up the depth, change up the spin, like whatever you gotta do.
All right. All right, guys, I'm going to show you a text I just got
Dude,
here.
the chat is absolutely exploding right now.
Check it out.
What is it? Ira
Ira,
checking in.
most bearded player. That's quite a beard there. Okay.
I can't. I just can't.
This is. I mean, part of me thinks this is trolling. I think
I
Mike,
give it 50. I give it 50% trolling.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, no
it
one-
might be more than 50.
Yeah, I think it's more. I mean, Mark is not channeling anything.
So is it?
Yeah.
Is it more funny or less funny that Mike doesn't know? Probably more funny.
I think Mike might have an inkling,
You think
but
so?
I don't think he gives a rat's butt.
More power to Mike.
yeah.
That's why I'm wondering.
Nice.
Ooh, that's dirty.
That's one of Mark's shots that I love that he does.
That's a nice backhand.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
That was like an eye height, one-handed backhand, heavy shot. That's a
Yeah.
really impressive ball from Mark.
It's a strength move, that's for sure. Boy.
I tell you what, Mark has the chat's heart, that's for sure.
Yep, yep.
Throwing a little bit of internet humor
Holy
in.
moly, yeah. Fear the boy. I think there's shirts to be made here.
Somebody's talking about Smeechek in the chat. A little
Oh, yeah?
Smeechek reference. Little Wisconsin tennis trivia there.
Oh yeah? Where's that?
It was up a little ways now. I
Oh
don't even
yeah,
know-
shut up, yeah. That's right, I remember that.
So that's a break.
That's a
Scott,
break. Wow.
because of the boy.
The boy gets the break. I mean, Mark is channeling Elmer Fudd right now. This is insane.
Oh my gosh.
Be that way, quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Do you guys remember Robin Williams doing Elmer Fudd singing Bruce Springsteen? Do you remember that one?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah, it's on YouTube. It's just hilarious. You know, he's just basically, I'm driving in my car, turn on the radio. It's hilarious.
Wow.
That's back. That's back.
If Mark consolidates here, it's absolutely monstrous for this match.
Yep.
If he can hold that after the break.
The Blake. Yeah, that was okay. Blake, trademark. Okay, you heard it here first. Blake is trademarked. Don't try to take it. Tennis Troll, we've got it. Don't even bother. All you other tennis sites, don't try it.
Now, Mark's going back to the standard grunt here.
Yeah.
It may be. Oh, okay. There it
Very
is.
good.
Yep, and see? It paid off immediately.
There's something magical about the boy.
Connor in the chat said Mike needs to regroup mentally. I don't
yeah.
agree with it. I feel like Mike has been super solid. Just because he got broken, I don't think necessarily means anything about his mental state. If anything, I give the credit to Mark. We were talking about the 25% shift. Tell me what you think, Scott. I think if it did indeed shift 25%, I would give 20% of the credit to Mark there.
Absolutely.
In that break.
Yeah, that was, and I'd give 17% of it to the boy. Now, now he's channeling Zverev. Okay. Incidentally, Andrei Rublev, spelled with an I, not a Y, is a Russian religious icon painter. And I'm thinking, what is his born in the 1360s. He's considered one of the greatest medieval Russian painters of Orthodox Christian icons and frescoes. And he's a saint, Saint Andrei Rublev. So just a little bit of history for you. There was a movie in 1973, I believe. I'll have to look that up. Film called Rublev, about the life of the icon painter Andrei Rublev. Now, that is your little bit of history. Back to tennis.
Mike just took some kind of little time out back there.
30 on PEDs.
And,
That's such a shot. Such a good shot. I mean, that kind of angle was Miroslav Machir level right there. That was beautiful. I know I'm showing my age, referencing 1380, 14th century painters and 1980s tennis players, but hey.
a little bit of
A little bit,
social studies class
yeah,
here.
hey, the more you learn, the more you know.
consolidate.
Nope, and it's back. Now that was
Mark is right back in the match,
Yep,
though.
yep.
Like, if he can hold on mentally, and by the way, big shout out to Mike mentally at this point for just really not showing a whole lot of volatility in either direction, negatively or positivity wise. Really just kind of locked down and just went to work the last 10 minutes or so.
Yep. I mean, he's a pro. He's been here before. He knows what it takes to dig out of a situation like this. And kudos to him for not folding there when Mark had him on the ropes. Okay, Ming Deity, I see you. Yeah, we were classmates, me and Andre. We used to smoke cigarettes behind the gym back in 1411. I gotcha. Of course, we rolled our own.
That was a good year. A lot of people questioning the second serve line call, and
Yeah.
we're just going to have to see the replay.
Yep.
On that. It was definitely close.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's calling 6 inches
Yep.
deep.
It was pretty deep.
I'm seeing some.
I'll go.
Some
10. We
outs.
do a 10 push-up bet on that, Tyler.
Sure.
So how about 5-inch over/under if it's
Okay.
6
Wow.
inches plus? I do 10
look
push-ups.
at all
if
the
it's-
ends. A challenge system.
You got a bet?
Yeah.
Coach
All right,
Adrian,
we got a 10 push-up bet
yeah.
with Tyler. I think it was definitely
You
closer
know,
than 6
I think
inches.
we're building up to that. We got the scoreboard now. We'll probably get the ref chair eventually. Who knows? Maybe we'll have the halftime show or something like
You need
that.
some Taco Bell, Mark? We can dial up some Uber Eats. We can dial up some Uber Eats. Uber Eats.
10 push-ups while smoking a cigarette.
Mark's asking for Taco Bell down on the court, guys. It's like when Djokovic asked for like the pink stuff, That's what Mark's asking for.
Michael K. Okay, considering your age, how does living through the plague compare to COVID today? Well, screw you. No, I'm kidding. It was pretty bleak back then. I mean, the cards seem to bring out your dead. I'm glad we don't have to do that anymore.
Bring out your dead.
Good volley. Good serve and volley.
Mark going with the caught the that was like 8-10 inches inside
Yeah.
the line, I think.
Yeah.
Like if he's
Monty
playing,
Python reference. I am showing my age, boys.
if he's playing mind games there, he's doing it very well.
Yeah. Mike is not bothered though.
No, Mike's been solid as a rock.
Yep.
Since that volley.
Good serve. What'd you say? Huh?
Nothing. I did not say anything.
That one looks similar. Roddick's up 6-2 at Wimbledon.
Nah, he was closer. Yours was way tougher. Sorry, Roddick.
He said he's only more prestigious in Wimbledon, Michael. I think it's up there. I forgot to put the all white now. Oh, yeah. I get it. I don't know.
Curse of the Commentator. Nice.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
As a teaching pro, you have to deal with that daily.
Yep. Oh yeah. Good second. Oh, the bois. The bois has such strength and power.
Respect the boy.
Respect the bois. The bois does not respect you, though.
The boy respects nobody.
No, the bois is king of all it sees. Where? You know, I never took a horse and carriage to my junior lessons or tournaments or anything like that.
What?
No, I mean, I would only play, you know, tournaments that I could walk to, and I kept the radius about 25 miles. So, yeah. Thanks for asking, though. I appreciate the respect that my advanced age gets from you all. So, thanks. That's a big serve. It's a big serve. Ask me about the Big Bang.
As a commentator, these are my favorite points in tennis matches because you just get the sense that within the next 10, 15 minutes, like something is going to tilt one way or the other, and it's just going to come down to quality of execution. Like quality of focus, quality of execution in the next 10 minutes.
Hey, Elliot, the Big Bang was interesting. You know, I was just sitting there minding my own business, sitting in the dark, just kind of waiting for something to happen. And all of a sudden, it just happened. And I found myself moving at the speed of light through this gigantic void. And next thing you know, here I am. Now, I'm going to say this is a crucial hold for Mark, because if he does not hold here,
No.
it's
Really tough to come back from a break at this point.
Yep. He's channeling the boy though.
Oh,
That's
that
gonna
looked
be
wide.
hard, yeah.
First, kind of little bit of, you know, I don't want to say chippiness, but a little bit of opponent-directed self-talk,
Yeah,
you know, out of Mike in the whole match, really.
I think. Oh,
That's a generous call too.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not gonna just bully Mike.
No, look at that.
Mark's
Oh, boy.
he's working so hard to try to push him
Yeah,
around.
and
It's
you can't.
tough.
I don't know. Mike is a wall. You can't push him. You gotta go around him. You gotta go over him or dig under him. But you can't do that.
Glove 40 here.
Okay, I mean, I'm getting a lot of questions here. Yeah, my Dunlop does fit into the stringing machine just fine, thank you. Got the Blue Star string and everything. Yeah, dinosaurs. Yeah, dinosaurs, they were delicious. It's a shame. And then all that stuff you see on the Flintstones, Bronto burgers, for reals.
Almost kind of changing roles here, where Mike's the one that's handing out the rope.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that Mike's. Oh, Mike's shouting out coach. Nice.
Really tough. Mark's shoes. At this point, Mike is, I guess, wall is just the best single word to describe. Mike over the last half an hour, 45 minutes, just impenetrable. It's really tough for Mark to find any kind of leverage in these points.
Yeah, that sometimes I vacillate between thinking Mike is either like a irresistible force and a immovable object, and today he's an immovable object. He is just right there, and the ball just comes back. He's not hitting the hugest of balls, but he is just never not there, and it's pretty remarkable to see. It's a very high level tennis he's playing here, and to Mark's credit, he's pushing him.
Yeah, top to bottom, it's for me not even close. Like, this is the best tennis I've seen out of Mike on this court.
Yep.
So huge credit to Mike for the level, just the quality of the play that he's bringing today. And I agree with you. Big credit to Mark as well, because in this set he has given him something to think about.
Yep.
He did present him with a pretty big obstacle in the middle of the set.
Yep.
So big credit to Mark as well. Who do you think Mark is texting right now?
I think
Rublev?
he's I don't know. Maybe he might be working. You know?
He may have just ordered food. That's a good call, Tyler.
Interesting. That if this was an actual tournament, I think he'd be warned not to look at his phone. He could be getting coaching.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. And I really
Maybe
doubt.
he's texting Syria.
That could be. Syria, if you haven't seen his channel, is one athletic dude.
Yeah,
I mean
right? He's a sick athlete.
Oh, it's incredible. I don't know how anybody does that without like getting vertigo or something. I mean, like he just that's
Breaking
incredible.
your neck, like literally.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I would love to, see Syria realize his tennis potential with that sort of athleticism. There we go. I can speak.
Another comment. Mike showed up pretty early to warm up, and we were talking about the match. Another comment Mike made was that a big goal of his was to control the middle of the court and not get run side to side.
Nice.
And I feel like he's accomplished exactly that.
Oh,
the
yeah,
last like
yeah.
20, 30 minutes. Mark is the one that's doing the road
Yep, yep.
miles.
Good serve. Nice return.
Yeah.
And then that. Something I would like to consider doing is like have guys wear, like fitness watches and just see how much running they do. Like
Yeah.
like in this match, I would love to see
It would be
how many miles Mark has covered relative to Mike. I mean, just as a stat, or something like play sight would be just off the charts. Cool. Good serve. Yeah. That's a good serve.
We'll get it. Ask and you shall receive.
Now, here's a little bit of ET trivia. Who has the fastest measured serve on this court?
Pretty sure it's Cole.
Nope.
It's not Cole?
Nope.
Is it you?
It's me. It's me.
I'll pat you on the back for you.
Yo soy un muscle man.
What did they measure it at?
125.
25.
125.
Wow.
I hit one, and I remember thinking that was a big serve.
That's a
It
big
was
boy
a
serve.
flat ball up the tee against Alex, and incidentally, it almost didn't happen because he initially called the serve
I
out, and he
remember
said,
that. I remember that
caught a
serve.
lap. Yeah. That's a big one. I mean, honestly, that's just big. That one's almost as big as mine. It's like,
And again,
Yeah.
I feel like Mark's solution to this problem is to just try to be like the Donkey Kong hammer and like just crush like Mike
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
ground.
yeah.
That big of a serve,
Yeah.
that big of a cut at the
Yeah.
return, I just don't think is the solution. Unless he's just wanting to tree for an hour.
yep. This is big. Right now, Mike is in the driver's seat. I mean, that's the obvious statement. And yes, I did discover fire. Yeah, I did. It took me a little while before I learned not to get burned by it, but I did discover fire. Yes. I invented the wheel. Yes. What else?
Where are you even seeing these messages in the chat? I'm like not even seeing them. Or are you just reading text from
No,
somebody?
this is like Karen reinvented the wheel, okay? And that somebody earlier said that, something about me discovering fire. That reminds me of a song. I'm going to show my age again, but the Pixies have a song called Dig for Fire, which was really my jam for a long time back in the late 80s. Dig for fire, man. You looking for the mother lode? Nah. No, my child, this is not my desire. I'm digging for fire. Look at that.
Ooh, that's a tough.
That's
Wow.
so good. Nice shot, Mark. Incidentally, what is the sound my son makes when I force him to take medicine? All right, let's go, Mark. Come on. James Haldeman, that's what shows my age, me talking about the Pixies. Come on, man. I thought it was discovering fire or you know, having lunch with Pontius Pilate.
Brontosaurus ribs.
Yeah. Oh, good serve, good serve.
That's a tough ball.
Yeah. That's trouble. No. Wow, that was eagerness. Somebody predicted that yeah, Mike was going to savor him.
No, I think Mike very much has the sense that
Oh, my bad, sorry.
it's so unprofessional, Scott.
I'm unprofessional. Yeah, sorry, ringer off.
Yeah, I'll save that for the next between the next points here.
Wow,
I think
good
Mike
hold.
very
good
much
hold.
has the sense that A, he's totally in control,
Mm-hmm.
and B, there's no need for him to risk any more than he has to.
Yeah.
Like Saber is completely unnecessary. The way that he's controlling rallies and controlling points.
Yep. Wow. Old man ringtone. Come on. You
Just you can't win.
bring it. I'm coming.
That's the Alexander Graham Bell
That's right.
ringtone
That's
there.
right, yeah. Mr. Was it? Mr. Watson, come here, I need you. Is that right? How about this one? Trivia for you. What was the message that Samuel Morse sent? Do you remember the first message on the wiretap?
Now I know Morse code.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah? Is
Little
that right?
additional trivia. I had my ham
Wow.
radio license.
Is that
as a
right?
teenager.
Oh, you should know
yeah.
this one then.
I don't think I know
Oh.
the answer to that though. That should be on the test, the
Okay,
ham radio
yeah.
test. So what's the answer?
It was, what hath God wrought?
Wow, that's an epic first
That's
message.
an epic first message, isn't it? What hath God wrought?
Wow.
Like,
Imagine if you saw the internet.
one small step for man,
Yeah.
one giant leap for mankind. Man, that's like one of those epic first phrases.
Yeah, that's about the most epic first phrase, maybe besides in the beginning.
The British are coming. Oh man, love it.
Oh,
That's
we got
awesome.
we got a ham radio operator in
Oh
the
yeah.
chat.
This is ridiculous. Oh man, I'm loving the chat today.
73 Shimasi.
Mm-hmm.
Were you ham? Were you ham radio operator?
No, I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not. No.
That'd be super random.
Yeah.
Even for somebody,
No,
even for somebody your age.
Get off my lawn. You Vikings, get off my lawn.
Say blind Morse code.
All right, that one wins. That one wins the day. That boy and Morse code. Yeah.
It's too bad. It's too bad Ben's not here anymore. I enjoyed having him in the chat.
Yeah.
And by the way, where are the other? I feel like I show up routinely on other channels like live streams and premieres and stuff like that. I want to see like Tennis Troll and who are the other big like Saria? It'd be great to have
Ace and
Saria
Tennis.
here. Yeah, Ace and
Ace and
Tennis. Yeah, Jeb's Tennis Journey. Allie, thank you so much.
Ooh.
Commentary.
Thanks, man.
We're
That's
not
great.
putting ourselves
That's
out there
awesome.
nearly as much as Mike and Mark
Yeah,
today.
no, these guys are the show. We're just the comic relief.
Thank you so much, Allie. Appreciate it. Or Ali, whichever way. I apologize. We got a ham radio call sign in the chat. Yes. average show. 73 average show.
I do know how Stonehenge was erected.
I see that going in a bad direction.
Levers and pulleys. I invented them.
All right, we should get back to the match here,
Let's
Scott.
do, yeah.
Might be
Yeah,
our
just
last
out.
might be our last game here, unless Mark can come up with some magic here.
Yep. Well, it's 15 love. Okay. And bring your jokes. Bring them all. I love it.
Classic tennis joke.
Nice return. Yes, that is a classic. I've used it like every match I've ever played, I think.
Yeah, you can't really watch a tennis
Yeah.
match and not hear that one.
Serve.
Nice return.
Yep. That's, oh, wow. That's the ankle breaker right
That
there.
was the ankle. Dude, this is trauma, man. Pain shoots up through my foot every time. It was way too low, though.
Well, I mean, he's got nothing to worry about this. Only thought that went through my mind was get your ass there so you can have kids one day.
I've already got 2. I would have rather got hit in the nuts. Sorry for the for the interlude, everybody.
Nate in the ruts. Oh, that's a big serve.
That's really tough.
I do like jazz. I'm not so much of a standards guy. I like, Miles is great. Sketches of Spain.
Oh, 1,300. We just hit 1,300. Thank you so much, everybody. Just hit a stream record for us. Appreciate you all so much. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for your support. Whenever the match finishes, whenever that is, make sure to stick around because we're going to interview both the players here on the stream. So make sure you stick around.
That's tough. That's really tough. What are you going to do?
Mike's just controlling.
Yes, it is.
It puts so much pressure on
Yep,
Mark.
yep. But Mark is just on a string, and Mike is the puppet master. It's 40-15 double match point here.
Scott, where should I go? Body, wide, or 2? What do you want?
Last time somebody asked me where they should serve, it didn't end well for them. Okay. Personally, I'd say tee, serve and volley, but,
I think you have play penalty.
For coaching?
hey, man, he asked.
Wow. I think he's going to do it.
No.
Yeah, he's going to do it. Yep, there it is.
You're welcome. Nice match, guys. Well, that was a big-time display of dominating ground stroke tennis there. Good net play too. But
even as
it's just-
Mike got broken, I can't say he did anything
No,
wrong
no.
or like had any misstep of
No.
any kind.
Yep. No, that Mark played an amazing couple of games there, but Mike is he's a wall. He did not budge
Give
at any of Mark's biggest shots. That Mike just stepped in, took the ball out in front of him, and considering how fast this court is, it's amazing. I mean that for everybody watching, that Mike made it look easy. It is not easy. It is very difficult to hit those shots on a fast court like this.
And make it look casual.
No,
like
gosh,
that.
yeah. He looked like a pro giving a lesson, and amazing. Just really an amazing display by Mike today, and I hope that everybody gives him his credit because, I saw a lot of people, calling Mark as the winner, before the match.
I did too.
And you know,
And that's just another element of it. Like something else before the match, I was talking to Mike about. It's hard to understand if you haven't played a match on this court in front of the cameras, in front of like your peers, in front of the internet, and reading the comments, reading the feedback. It's hard to understand the dynamic that adds when you log on to the like announcement video and you see that everybody is like calling Mark, like to win.
oh yeah,
And kudos to Mike for dealing with that additional mental challenge, because it really is.
No, it is challenging, but I think that Mike has enough sense of his own game, reality here, that he's not going to be swayed by people saying they want Mark to win. And honestly, Mark is a crowd favorite. He's
Absolutely.
he's really, really telegenic for one. He looks good on the court. He has a great personality.
He's got nice pecs too.
He's got nice pecs. He's got killer calves. That's what I'm trying to think. I wouldn't say anything else, but he's a very, very media friendly is what he is. And good for him. I appreciate it watching him play, and it's really nice to call his match here. But Mike is the real deal. Mike is a tennis player, first and foremost.
Chris Butler in the chat saying, shout outs to Tyler and crew. Absolutely. Tyler, why don't you take a victory lap? Everybody, thank you, Tyler.
Yep.
And big thank you to James.
Thanks, guys.
Big thank you to James down below as well. James is manning the cameras on the court down there. We'll have both the players up here in the booth shortly.
Up here, you want to go down there? Probably better to go down there. It's cameras.
Can we stream?
I will. We'll keep this. We'll go to the court stream, and you guys just stand there, and then I'll do the mics.
Okay. We got. Are they good? Can we?
I'll make them live here. in a
Okay.
second.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So we're gonna do interviews with both players here.
No, we're gonna come down.
No, we'll go down.
Switch to the overhead.
Well, Scott and I are gonna head down to the court.
Yep.
And we're gonna interview both of them shortly.
Yep.
You guys
So
go
so
do
hang
your-
around, everybody.
Boy. Not all heroes wear Tylers.
Man, great playing by Mike.
No kidding. That was just lights out. I mean, and I wager that Mark knew it was coming too.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think. Well, Mark knows. Mark knows Mike. They've
Be an
done.
interesting question to ask.
Yeah.
If Mike or Mark was at all taken off guard.
Well, they've done whitewater stuff before.
Down there, stand like around the baseline.
Okay.
Center court.
This side.
That
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Got it. If I fall off the ladder, it's been
Need a
nice
taller
knowing you
ladder
guys
here.
on the
Need
live
a
stream.
taller ladder. One that doesn't require me to pronate myself.
Want me here?
I also want to thank you guys for watching me getting my butt kicked, and I want to
He
thank
played well. He played well. The power of Boy. I mean, I am converted.
Okay.
Good stuff.
So the power of Bray. So let me know if you guys ever do the Bray like Andre Rublev does. Because apparently that is a converter.
Do you want
I've
something?
already converted a few people here.
to get that win off me, and hopefully I'll be back here soon for you guys and just being able to play more on this court.
As always, for you guys. Happy hitting.
Big shout out to Western Michigan University, WRC Tennis, Whitewater, University of Whitewater, Wisconsin.
What happened?
Dave
No,
Moran,
my
Casey
ears,
Collin,
oh,
taught
yeah.
me how to volley, got me to hit bigger. Eric Martinez, Scott Carson,
Yeah.
Tim and Coral went at Western Rack Club. Heidi.
Scott, was I
Lily,
too tentative
all
in the
those
first
guys
set?
Really helped me, and then.
I mean,
and then
I
at Wetwater,
thought
love it. And to all my
your
friends and
strategy
friends,
was like you're trying to
now you know
out hit
kind of
him,
why I
and
love.
he's just a wall. I mean, he just stands there and absorbs it and sends it back. You know what I
What
mean?
did I do different in the second set? And he blinked a little bit.
He blinked a little bit, but what you did was you started being a little more forward aggressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
fun,
you were
guys.
moving
Hopefully I'll be
laterally
back
on
soon.
the
Thanks.
baseline. You're 8 feet behind on the baseline, and you can swing away as hard as you can, but he's, on the line blocking it back.
Yeah.
So you're moving all over the place. What I thought really went well, when you broke, was that you hit some. You were patient with your slices, and you came in when he gave you the shorter ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Did we fix the
and
audio?
really
We good on the audio?
I mean, that was
Okay.
sick, man. That's good tennis.
Serving a little bit better.
Yeah. Glad I could help you on that last
Yeah, I
point,
know.
too.
I appreciate it.
Were they commenting on my bouet?
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, the chat.
My Discord was, I was
just-
talking to my Discord.
Oh my God, yeah.
You should do bouet. I'm like, okay, bouet.
Oh, well, yeah, and that point that you got it on was epic. It was like the longest point of the match, and you were, and he was going like, if he wins this point.
Did you know he was like kind of messing with you with the bois or no?
But
with
that,
with the grunt?
yeah.
I don't run normally. It's just like, it's okay,
I
let's do
figured
this.
it was just like, because I knew like he wasn't talking the first set, and I was winning, and then he started to talk to me more. I'm like, okay, now I was able to kind of get on it. He's trying to get me off my game, trying to do any of that, and I would just be like, I'm just blind. I'm just right here. I'm just gonna go through him, like Rocky going through Apollo Creed. I'm just gonna go through him.
All right, we're just gonna do a little like wrap up over here. Yeah, FYI, we're still live.
Oh, we're still live.
Yeah, we
So
are
I
live,
can't
yeah.
talk.
Hi, my friends. Hi, my family.
Hot mic. Oh, that's what it's called, a hot mic. Okay. I didn't know.
We'll have you guys in between us.
Why my shoes always get really dirty.
You
Up there.
want to center on the baseline, or
There's so many. There's just so many fuzzies here.
Well, this is like dust. From
Mark posting in his Discord still.
Oh, no, winners only, right?
No,
No,
get
no,
over
no,
there.
come on.
Oh,
Mark, you're a winner.
no, I'm not.
Everyone's a winner.
Hey, before today, you at least won on this court. I hadn't gotten to win yet.
Well, you might as well play wheelchair, people. It's like, wins.
Yeah, gotta get something.
What?
Good.
You should have seen the rape I was getting on my agent. Sorry.
All right, we're here with the players. First of all, congratulations to both of you. It takes a lot of bravery, a lot of guts to play on this court, and especially in front of a live audience. So big tip of the hat to both of you guys.
Yeah.
And thank you for putting yourselves out here. All of us really respect it a lot. So well done. Mark, talk to us a little bit about the challenge that Mike presented today. Was it what you expected out of Mike, or was anything surprising?
So I've never played Mike before, but I've actually seen him hit I think you were in high school when I saw you at Carroll College hitting at
Yes.
the 5-0.
Yep.
And, obviously he was a big hitter. I'm like, who is this guy? And funny enough, he transferred from Western Michigan to Whitewater, my alma mater, and his alma mater as well. So I've seen him play, but as I said in some of the confessional cams, like seeing something from the sideline, Ian and Scott, is completely different than looking right at him when the ball's coming at you 115, 120 miles an hour. So I knew that he moves very well. He hits very, very big. So it's one of those things where he's that dangerous type of player that he's able to move, dictate, close in, and also play a little bit of defense, which you've shown me in some of the points. So it was definitely a different challenge from any of the other matches I played with Scott, Alex, and
Cole.
And Cole. And Cole obviously is a very strong player, is undefeated on this court so far. But it's just a different type of game style.
Hopefully either you and I can change that.
Yeah, I need to change a few things in my life before I even have a chance of that happening. So we'll see how that goes.
So, Mike, you and I talked a little bit before the match about your game plan. How do you feel like you executed on what you were trying to do?
I feel like the whole first set and after I was down 3-1 in the second set went pretty much exactly the way I would want to, apart from maybe wanting to come to the net a little bit more. But Mark was just doing such a good job at just being able to just hit heavy and deep, just not allowing many times for me to come to the net unless he was on the dead run. Because there was one where I tried to just slice it on him and he just blitzed it right past me. So it's like I didn't want to overforce it. The one that I did overforce was the one that I pushed long and then he aced me to kind of win that game. So was just trying to find something to come to the net, but he was doing a good job of just not being able to at least keep me at the baseline and just forcing me to hit ground strokes. But biggest thing was as I told you, I was just trying to just come out and just hit bigger serves. That was one thing I felt like I didn't do a good job against Cole. So many double faults and just not being able to control my service games with the first serve, being able to win a lot of service games at 40-15 or 40-love.
I'd love to hear you both comments about kind of the mental warfare side of things. This is something Scott and I spent quite a bit of time talking about up in the booth. The fact that you're both, college athletes, you're comfortable in that environment where there's like, some chippiness and maybe some gamesmanship going on back and forth. Either of you guys can take this question. How did you guys feel that dynamic was in this match?
So my dynamic, at least my perspective on that type of mental warfare, and obviously we're friends. We don't have any,
100%.
we don't have beef with each other.
Now we are. Even if I would have lost, but now at this point we're friends.
Maybe.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where my perspective is through a different lens than yours, because your junior background and your college background is much more intense, in-depth, and higher quality than what I had to go through. So I feel like, for me, even though I'm 5 years older than you, which is, oh my goodness.
I'm 27.
Okay, I'll be almost 31. So
Okay.
4 or 5 years older than you. I'm actually the amateur in this match because not only am I the underdog, but I don't have the mentality and the ruggedness that you had as a junior and college player at number 1, number 2 singles and growing up. So I don't know if you want to piggyback off that or have any thoughts.
So it's funny enough. It was just my 2 favorite players before it turned into 3. Before Rafa Nadal came on the scene, my favorite players growing up were 2 players that not a lot of people liked. Leighton Hewitt. It's where ever since I was 12 years old, I'd have my hat turned on and then I'd just be doing this to people all the time, and they would just hate it. But it was just that was the gamemanship. I just loved bringing the intensity, the energy. So where it's like, eventually once I grew up, I could finally hit first serves like Andy Roddick, hit my forehand. But taking the gamesmanship from Leighton and just being able to just know, hey, I'm going to control the court with my backhand, and working with so many people at Western Racket Club when I was at Western and when I was at Whitewater, Scott as well. It was just the fact that you get guys like Eric Martinez, Steve Roadcap when he did groups at Western. It was just the mentality that no excuses, just get it done. Any which way you can get it done, no excuses. Rub some dirt on it and just keep moving forward. Just that old school mentality. Don't look for an excuse. Just try to find yourself and dig yourself out of the hole. And that's where I had to do it no matter what. I was number 1 singles as a freshman, and on a team with 10 seniors, and there was 4 underclassmen, and they're just like, who's this little kid? All of a sudden taking, number 1 singles, and I was just like, I just felt like I've always had to prove myself, and it's just I always just want to compete, and I just love, and to your point, Ian, I love that gamesmanship mentality. I haven't had this much fun in forever, because that's where I love it. I love just the intensity. I love the way Mark plays. He started, and then he kind of brought it out of me, and then once I get going I'm just able to kind of blitz through it, just playing literally that aggressive style of tennis. And the difference kind of between what people see the difference in D1 and D3. D1, there's just those guys, a lot of those guys are just built like football players. And so you have to be able to learn how to, from the baseline, be able to control and come into the net. Whereas a lot of guys from even D3, my doubles partner, Jake Humphrey, shout out to him. We were all Americans together, but he was 5'7", 130. So when we were playing doubles, I would be back serving huge, and he would be up at the net. So we would just be like, it wouldn't work, but it was just, you get a lot of those guys that they're just fast, they're slashers like Mark, and they're just able to just get a lot of balls in play. And it's just different games. So for me, being able to play best of both and be able to take a lot from both those experiences just really, really just helped me.
Yeah, and tennis is a lifetime sport, so
Just be playing this forever.
You got to keep
Well
at
said.
it.
Well said. One of the things that we both noticed was that you were all over the place. You were running. You did such a great job kind of hanging on the baseline and absorbing everything and just sending it right back. I mean, you were like a wall today, and it was just on this court with the speed of the court. Do you find that it's tough to do? Or, you make it look easy.
It's funny enough, I love this court so much. I loved when this was more than park tennis, and it was a sister club to Western Racket Club with how fast these courts were. I loved it. I loved just the ability, the balls are going to be flying around, and that was the one thing I didn't do as well against Cole. He was actually doing it back to me.
Yeah.
He was just sending balls back to me. It was kind of throwing me off because I'm not used to that kind of happening. So I just made the mentality that even though I'm a bigger frame guy, I can't run side to side like Mark can. He's just faster and he's quicker there. Me with a bigger frame, I got to at least, and I told Ian this before, I got to control the middle half of the court.
Yeah.
I got to just know that he's going to hit high and heavy, where normally that heavy ball, like Rafa, would push somebody back. And I'm just going to stand here. I'm going to give him a little bit of space. Maybe I'll be one step behind the baseline, but he's just not going to push me back.
No, he didn't. That was for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
But Mark, it looked like your primary tactic was basically to try to push him back, like
Yeah.
to try to dictate take control in the rallies.
Yeah, and Mike said it very well, and that's a very good strategy coming up. You've seen me hit a little bit, not across the net, but you're planted there like a tree, and you're squatting and just blocking everything back and waiting for your opportunity to come in and crush it and rush the net, which you did beautifully today. So yeah, that was my strategy. I probably could have spread him out a little bit more, maybe on the forehand if I was careful to open up the backhand and maybe move you both laterally and vertically to be able to dictate. But apparently I didn't do a good enough job today.
Because that's the one time that especially people that have seen me kind of recently, ever since I kind of learned this when I was at Whitewater. My mom always said was your backhand's so good, it's so stable, you're not going to make a lot of unforced errors. Your forehand's bigger, so where people are afraid to hit to my forehand because they know I can unload on it, and they think, oh, I'm going to hit to his backhand. But that's actually what I want people to do. Is I want people to hit to my backhand because I'm just, like you said, I'm just going to squat, plant like a tree, and I'm just going to do that kind of the new backhand style, which is just you open up and you just
You take it on the rise so well.
count it back, just like like Leighton, like Nalbandian, and like guys like David Goffin right now, and it's just.
There you go.
And just being able to just know that if I can force Mark in that forehand corner, potentially then run around it and then be big on the forehand. So it's not often that you see guys unloading on their backhands, or even sometimes I'll run around my forehand and hit my backhand. But that's just one thing I always know that I can rely on, especially if my serve's not there, but just being able to hit big on the backhand side.
What would you do differently, Mark? And how would you play Mike next time, you think?
I would play more aggressively on the get-go. I think in the first set, and the people in the chat can attest to this, and the people in the comments section, but I was hitting just at him. And as he said, he already had that in his head as a chess game to protect, his most valuable asset, which is real estate. So I should have moved him a little bit more laterally. I was actually pretty happy with some of the backhand slices I was doing, getting him a little bit uncomfortable, but I should have been at the net a little bit more often to kind of close it out.
How many times do you think you came to the net?
Once. No, twice. I retreated once.
And you did that well, we talked about that one when you should have taken an overhead.
Sure. Oh yeah, this.
Yeah, and you hit a forehand.
Yeah, I should have went like this with the overhead. That's a new tactic I've been working on.
Bam, bam, another Flintstones reference.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any kind of final thoughts or reflections on the match?
One thing I kind of said in my intro was, or my exit thing was, and maybe I can just ask, there's like, I saw that Mark was just trying to, hit bigger, and it might work against other people. It was just like, I want, and that's where like I wanted to come to the net more, but it's like because I saw like how hard he was hitting, I felt like I could just sustain that pace, so I didn't really feel like I needed to kind of press in sometimes. So, and that's where like I was just, that's one thing I have worked on, is just being able to know, okay, when am I going to attack? When do I need to just stay neutral, not play defense, but just stay neutral, work it until I get a short ball, and then being able to be more consistent. I don't want to move, but it's just like I'm not going to give him any freebie, winners that a lot of big guys try to go. They just hit like an Isner, where it's just like they'll have 70 winners, but 50 unforced errors, kind of as well. And
well, it's no secret you're a little bit more athletic and smart than Isner.
Yes.
He just happens to have a 6 foot.
6'10", a little bit bigger than 6'2". So,
Mark, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, thank you, Mike, for coming out
sorry.
here.
Thanks again for you coming out. Yeah, I had a joy playing against you, and just in this environment, as I said, most fun I've had in 10 years. So I really appreciate it, Mark. Thanks for coming out.
That's awesome.
We should hit more often if you're ever up here.
I'm in.
Thanks to Ian, James, Tyler, and everybody else behind Essential Tennis, and Scott as well. Thank you for commentating.
Yeah, and thanks for James and Tyler being here, so we could have the live scoreboard up, because I know that was definitely helped, and just being able to have it be pleasurable for. Because a lot of my family, a lot of my friends, they don't know tennis. They don't know how the scoring works. So just being able to have that, being able to follow it around, it kind of makes it a little bit easier.
Awesome.
Yeah, and thanks to you guys for hanging out. It wouldn't be possible without you. So it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys soon, hopefully.
Any other 5-0s in the region that want to take on me or Mark, email Ian. I'll take on all comers. I love it.
We'll make it happen.
Bring it.
Awesome.
Bring it on.
Keeps getting
you,
better.
guys.
Keeps getting better. Man. Great job.
Even if you want to go grumpy old man.
True story. I'm gonna be in fighting fit by summertime. So yeah, I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Keep scaling up the level.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching
Thanks,
live. We
guys.
really appreciate it. Thank you.